Welcome to Shadow Alchemy, transforming hidden aspects into unstoppable power by Mindful Literary. Imagine a world where the parts of yourself that you've kept hidden, the qualities you've been ashamed of, the desires you've suppressed, the emotions you've denied, could become your greatest sources of strength. These hidden aspects, what psychologist Carl Jung famously called the shadow self, are not just obstacles to overcome. They are reservoirs of untapped power waiting to be transformed. In this audiobook, we'll embark on a transformative journey into the depths of the human psyche. It's a journey of courage and discovery, one that asks you to confront the parts of yourself you've kept in the shadows. But here's the truth. Those hidden aspects hold the key to unlocking your fullest potential. Shadow alchemy is not just about accepting who you are. It's about harnessing your complexity, owning your narrative, and turning every part of yourself, even the dark and messy bits, into unstoppable power. Are you ready to dive in and reclaim the parts of yourself you've long ignored? Let's begin this brave journey together, embracing your shadows and transforming them into pure personal power. Introduction: Meeting the Shadow. The shadow self-defined. The concept of the shadow self originates from the realm of psychology, primarily advanced by Carl Jung. It refers to those hidden facets of our personality that we often reject or ignore, aspects that society may label as undesirable or inappropriate. This can include feelings of anger, jealousy, or even desires that we deem socially unacceptable. These traits do not simply vanish because we refuse to acknowledge them. Instead, they linger in the background, influencing our actions, decisions, and interactions in subtle yet powerful ways. Our shadow self often surfaces in moments of stress or confrontation, revealing truths about ourselves that we might not want to face. When we dismiss or repress these darker aspects, we risk perpetuating a cycle of shame and unacknowledged behavior, leading to feelings of incompleteness and inner conflict. Acknowledging the shadow self can be a transformative experience. By facing these parts of ourselves, we can create space for greater self-acceptance, which fosters wholeness and authenticity. Recognizing that everyone has a shadow enables us to cultivate empathy, both towards ourselves and others. It's essential to understand that embracing our shadow does not mean we condone negative behaviors. Rather, it allows us to integrate these aspects into our conscious self. This integration often leads to profound personal growth. When we stop fighting against our inherent flaws, we free ourselves from the burden of perfect expectations. As we embark on this journey of self-discovery, we may begin to notice an increase in our emotional resilience and the ability to respond to life's challenges with newfound confidence. Ultimately, the practice of engaging with our shadow self can reveal hidden strengths and talents that were previously obscured by denial. Embracing this complexity can enrich our relationships, enhance our creativity, and deepen our understanding of what it means to be human. A practical tip for nurturing this process is to set aside time for self-reflection or journaling, allowing your thoughts and feelings to surface without judgment. This can help illuminate those neglected parts of yourself and pave the way toward a more enriched and harmonious existence. The power of integration. Integrating the shadow into our lives involves acknowledging the hidden parts of ourselves, those traits and emotions we often prefer to ignore. This aspect, derived from Jungian psychology, represents the darker, more uncomfortable elements of our psyche. When we unveil these facets, we realize that embracing our shadow can lead to profound transformation. Instead of shunning these uncomfortable feelings, integrating them means understanding their origin and how they shape our experiences. This process can illuminate hidden desires and fears, allowing us to confront them head-on. When we stop viewing the shadow as an enemy, it transforms into a source of strength, offering valuable insights into our motivations and reactions. Such integration fosters a more authentic sense of self and cultivates resilience in our everyday lives. As we embark on this journey of integration, we discover that it enhances our creativity and authenticity in unexpected ways. By accepting and incorporating our shadow, we give ourselves permission to express the full range of human experiences. Our artistic endeavors flourish because we're no longer limited to a narrow palette of emotions. Pain, anger, and confusion can become powerful catalysts for creativity. Whether through writing, painting, or music, accessing these deeper emotions leads to authentic expression that resonates with others. Moreover, when we embrace our true selves, we cultivate genuine relationships. Others are drawn to our vulnerability and courage, creating connections rooted in authenticity. This process encourages not only personal growth, but also fosters a community built on understanding and acceptance. To start integrating your shadow, take a moment to reflect on the traits you tend to push aside. Journaling can be a useful tool. Write down your thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing the words to flow freely. Look for patterns or recurring emotions that surface during this practice. The more you engage with these hidden parts, the more equipped you will be to utilize them positively in your life. This exercise not only promotes self-awareness, but also creates a pathway toward harnessing creativity and building meaningful connections with others. Remember that acknowledging and integrating these aspects is a sign of strength, paving the way for a richer, more fulfilling life. Why we hide parts of ourselves. People often hide parts of themselves due to societal expectations and pressures. From a young age, we learn that some traits are valued while others are not. Society often praises conformity and discourages anything that stands out as different. This can create a sense of inadequacy, leading individuals to suppress their true selves for fear of rejection or criticism. For instance, someone with a unique talent might feel compelled to downplay it in a group where such talents are not appreciated. This suppression is not just a reaction to external judgment. It can also stem from internal conflicts. Many carry the weight of self-doubt or shame, believing their authentic selves are unworthy of acceptance. The impact of hiding parts of ourselves can be profound. On a psychological level, this suppression often results in feelings of anxiety and depression. Individuals may feel trapped in a persona that does not reflect who they truly are, leading to an internal tug-of-war that drains their emotional energy. Relationships also suffer when authenticity is compromised. When people are not true to themselves, it becomes challenging to form deep connections with others. Friends and partners may sense that something is off but struggle to pinpoint the root cause. The hidden aspects create barriers, preventing genuine intimacy and understanding. By not sharing our authentic selves, we may miss opportunities for meaningful relationships and a deeper sense of community. Embracing vulnerability can be a key to unlocking greater joy and compassion in our lives. Recognizing and addressing what we hide can be quite liberating. It often starts with small steps, perhaps in a safe environment or with trusted individuals. Sharing our true selves, even in snippets, can ease the burden of hidden aspects. Allowing ourselves to be vulnerable is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is a powerful way to connect with others and foster understanding. Embracing all parts of ourselves can lead to greater health and enriched social connections. Chapter 1. The Origins of the Shadow. Childhood Conditioning. Investigating how early experiences shape our perceptions of right and wrong reveals much about the foundations of our moral compass. From the moment we are born, we are like sponges, soaking up messages from our surroundings. Parents, caregivers, and even culture impart lessons about behavior, often without realizing the lasting impact of their words and actions. A simple moment, such as a child observing how a parent reacts to a stranger, can set the stage for future judgments about trust and caution. These formative experiences influence our understanding of right and wrong in profound ways, shaping not only our choices, but also our emotional responses to various situations. As we grow, each lesson learned, whether through praise, punishment, or observation, further solidifies our perspective on morality, often leading to rigid beliefs that can be hard to shake in adulthood. Understanding the role of family dynamics in building our shadow self is crucial for recognizing the complexities of our identity. The shadow self, a concept popularized by psychologist Carl Jung, embodies the parts of ourselves that we may suppress or deny. Family interactions play a big part in this development. For instance, if a child feels the need to be perfect to win affection, they might hide their imperfections, leading to a fractured self-image over time. These dynamics can often create a paradox where love is conditional, causing the child to internalize guilt or shame about their true feelings. As we traverse through life, these buried emotions influence our relationships and choices, often surfacing in unexpected ways. Recognizing these elements can be liberating, helping us to accept parts of ourselves we've long pushed away. Childhood conditioning serves as a lens through which we view the world, affecting every decision we make, often subconsciously. It's essential to reflect on early influences to foster better understanding of ourselves and others. A practical tip for navigating this landscape is to engage in self-reflection and journaling. By documenting your thoughts and feelings, you can uncover patterns linked to your early experiences. This process not only offers insight into your behaviors, but also paves the way for personal growth, allowing you to embrace your whole self, including the parts you might have previously overlooked. The role of society. Cultural norms and values shape the very essence of who we are, often creating what we might call our shadows. These shadows represent the parts of ourselves that we suppress or hide due to societal expectations. From a young age, we learn what is deemed acceptable behavior, how to express emotions, and which aspirations to pursue. For instance, in some cultures, vulnerability is viewed as a weakness, leading individuals to adopt a facade of strength, thus creating a shadow of their true, softer selves. This divergence can foster feelings of inadequacy and dissonance, compelling us to conform to a mold that does not genuinely represent our identities. Understanding this relationship between society's cultural norms and our shadows can illuminate paths to more authentic self-expressions. Recognizing the impact of societal expectations on our identities can be quite liberating. It invites us to examine our beliefs and motivations, empowering us to reclaim parts of our authentic selves that we may have sidelined. Practicing self-awareness can help untangle the threads of cultural influence from our core identity, allowing us to embrace the complexity of being human. Take a moment to reflect on the roles you have assumed in different contexts. What parts of you feel like genuine expressions of your identity, and which feel like societal shadows? This awareness might just spark the beginnings of a more fulfilling self-discovery journey. Unconscious repression. Repression is a psychological mechanism that pushes uncomfortable thoughts, memories, or feelings out of conscious awareness. It acts like a mental gatekeeper, guarding us from distressing past events or emotions that we find difficult to face. Imagine our minds as a cluttered attic where dusty boxes hold the shadows of our experiences. Repression is the act of placing a heavy lock on that attic door. When we repress these shadow elements, we are attempting to maintain a state of emotional safety, but this strategy often backfires, leading to greater complications in our lives. The shadows we bury can manifest in unexpected ways, influencing our behavior and decision-making without us even realizing it. By denying our shadows, we not only avoid necessary self-reflection, but also live in a shadow world, disconnected from our true selves. Recognizing repression can be tricky because it often lies beneath the surface of our daily lives, quietly impacting our thoughts and feelings. One common sign is feeling sudden, unexplained bursts of anger or sadness. You may find yourself reacting far more intensely to minor frustrations, which could indicate that deeper emotions are being locked away. Additionally, forgetfulness about specific events or periods in your life can also point to repression. If you notice gaps in your memory that feel uncomfortable to explore, these could be clues that your mind is safeguarding painful truths. Also, a persistent sense of unease or anxiety without a clear cause is another indication. You might feel something is off but can't pinpoint why, as though a shadow looms, distorting your perception of reality. Journaling or talking with someone you trust about your feelings can be effective in surfacing these repressed experiences, allowing us to shine a light on our shadows and integrate them back into our lives. Taking time to self-reflect and confront uncomfortable emotions is vital. Consider setting aside a regular time for introspection or mindful practices that invite you to explore your thoughts and feelings. This approach will help you unravel the shadows you've tucked away and transform that burden into a source of empowerment. Chapter 2. The Shadow at Work in Your Life. Identifying your triggers. To truly understand the parts of ourselves that we may hide from others, we need to learn to spot our emotional triggers. These moments when we react disproportionately often reveal our shadows, those elements of our personality that we prefer to keep in the dark. For example, have you ever felt an intense wave of anger when someone interrupts you, even if it seemed rather mild? This is your shadow reacting, telling you something more profound lies beneath the surface. It takes practice to identify these reactions and to connect them with deeper emotions like insecurity, fear, or past trauma. The key lies in being aware of your feelings in the moment, asking yourself probing questions, and keeping a journal to track these instances. By shining a light on these triggers, we can explore and understand the hidden facets of our psyche that often influence our actions and relationships. Our environments and interactions are like mirrors, reflecting aspects of ourselves that we might not readily see. When you're in a crowded room and suddenly feel anxious, it might not just be about the people around you. It could be that the noise and chaos are triggering some childhood feelings of overwhelm. Likewise, how you react to different individuals often highlights the characteristics you've suppressed or denied. For instance, if you find yourself feeling jealous of a colleague's success, it might point to your own insecurities regarding achievement or recognition. Identifying these patterns requires keen observation and honest reflection. Pay attention to the relationships and situations that evoke strong feelings. By understanding how your surroundings expose these hidden aspects of yourself, you open the door to deeper self-awareness. Exploration of our emotional triggers is an ongoing journey. Keep in mind that the goal isn't to eliminate these triggers, but to understand them better. Each time you encounter a reaction, instead of judging yourself, ask what it reveals about your inner world. This practice can lead to greater self-acceptance and emotional resilience. A useful tip is to create a trigger map, an informal record where you note down situations that trigger strong emotions and what those emotions reveal about you. Over time, this map can become a powerful tool for self-discovery and growth. Projection, seeing yourself in others. Projection is a psychological phenomenon that can cloud our understanding of the people around us. It happens when we attribute our own thoughts, feelings, and traits to someone else, often without realizing it. This means that when we view others through the lens of our personal experiences, we may misinterpret their actions and intentions. For example, if someone struggles with trust issues, they might perceive others as untrustworthy even when there's no evidence to support that belief. This can lead to distorted perceptions, damaging relationships, and fostering unnecessary conflict. The challenge is to recognize this pattern and understand how our internal world influences our perceptions of the external world. As we navigate our interactions with others, our reactions to their behaviors often reveal aspects of ourselves. For instance, if we feel irritated by someone's ambitious nature, it might be worth considering if we are envious of those traits within ourselves. By observing our emotional responses to others, we can start to identify mirror traits, qualities that we either possess or reject in ourselves. This kind of self-reflection can be enlightening. It prompts us to ask deeper questions and engage with our own motivations, fears, and desires. This realization doesn't just hinder our growth. Instead, it opens doors to personal development as we come to terms with our own complexities. Understanding projection can be a game changer for personal relationships and self-awareness. Instead of reacting defensively or dismissively towards others, allowing ourselves to question why we feel a certain way could lead to profound insight. A useful practice is to pause and think critically about what our instinctive reactions say about us. Challenge yourself to explore whether those feelings are rooted in your own experiences. This practice not only improves emotional intelligence, but also fosters empathy, enabling you to connect with others truly. Embracing this reflective approach can transform how you relate to the world, making it both a personal journey and a social expedition. Patterns of self-sabotage. Recognizing self-sabotaging behaviors is crucial for understanding how our unacknowledged shadows manifest in our lives. Everyone has a shadow, that hidden part of ourselves filled with fears, insecurities, and unresolved issues. These shadows often surface through negative self-talk, procrastination, or avoidance of opportunities. When we overlook this inner darkness, it influences our decisions and shapes our reality in ways we might not even realize. A simple example could be the urge to binge-watch a series instead of preparing for an important meeting. It's easy to brush off these behaviors as laziness or lack of motivation, but they often stem from a place of fear. Recognizing these patterns requires honest reflection and an understanding that self-sabotage is not merely a personal failure. It's a reflection of our inner struggles and unmet needs. Investigating the cycle of self-doubt and fear that hinders personal growth reveals the intricate dance between our ambitions and the inner critics we nurture. Self-doubt creeps in silently, often whispering that we're not good enough or that our goals are out of reach. This insidious voice sets off a chain reaction. Fear takes center stage, paralyzing us with the thought of failure or embarrassment. When fear dominates, we may choose the safety of inaction over the uncertainty of success. This cycle can feel familiar, almost comfortable, yet it prevents us from stepping into the lives we desire. It's a paradox. The more we shy away from our fears, the more they loom large over our aspirations. Breaking this cycle requires us to confront our fears head-on, questioning their validity and reminding ourselves of our capability. Acknowledge that it's normal to feel fear, but don't let it dictate your journey. Each small step towards facing these fears can lead to significant growth. As you navigate through these complex emotions and behaviors, remember that awareness is the first step towards change. Keeping a journal can be particularly helpful in identifying self-sabotaging patterns. By writing down your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, you can begin to connect the dots and recognize sequences that lead to self-sabotage. Over time, you'll uncover insights that could steer you toward healthier choices and a more fulfilling life. Acknowledging your shadows and confronting your fears is not a straightforward path, but as you tread more closely to your true self, the rewards will resonate profoundly in your overall well-being. Chapter 3: Making the Unconscious Conscious. Awareness through mindfulness. Mindfulness is more than just a buzzword. It is a profound tool for self-discovery and keen observation. When we practice mindfulness, we actively engage with the present moment, allowing ourselves to peel back the layers that often mask our true feelings and thoughts. This ability to embrace our current experiences, without judgment, opens the door to self-awareness. It invites us to reflect on what we think and feel beneath the surface, revealing the deeper truths of our minds and hearts. Imagine standing in a crowded room, yet feeling uniquely attuned to your inner landscape. That's the magic of mindfulness at work, transforming the mundane into meaningful moments. To cultivate this awareness, various practices can be embraced. Techniques like mindful breathing, meditation, and mindful observation encourage us to tune into the subtle whispers of our minds. For instance, when you sit quietly and focus on your breath, you might start noticing thoughts flitting by like butterflies. Instead of chasing them, mindfulness teaches us to observe these thoughts without attachment, allowing us to understand their origins and significance. This observation can lead to profound insights about what influences our behaviors and choices. Moreover, recognizing hidden feelings, whether joy, anxiety, or sadness, gives us the opportunity to process them rather than suppress them. Acknowledging these hidden emotions is a significant step toward emotional intelligence. Embracing mindfulness in daily life doesn't require grand gestures. Even small moments of awareness can be transformative. Try pausing throughout your day, perhaps while sipping your morning coffee or walking down the street, and focus on your senses. What do you see, hear, or feel? This practice can illuminate the richness of your experiences and help you navigate your thoughts and feelings more effectively. It's about fostering a habit of awareness that aligns your external world with your internal feelings. Journaling to meet your shadow. Journaling is a powerful tool when it comes to connecting with your shadow self, that often hidden part of your psyche that holds not just your fears and insecurities, but also your untapped potential. Engaging in regular journaling lets you unravel the complexity of your inner world, offering a safe space to confront those uncomfortable aspects of yourself. Through this practice, you can achieve greater self-awareness and foster acceptance, transforming shame into empowerment. It encourages you to create a dialogue with your shadow, allowing you to acknowledge what you may prefer to ignore. Not only does this practice enhance emotional regulation, but it can also lead to creative breakthroughs and a richer, more authentic life experience. To dive deeper into your shadow, consider starting with prompts that spark reflection and insight. Write about a recent situation that triggered a strong emotional response. What did you feel, and what did it reveal about your beliefs or fears? Alternatively, explore a quality in someone else that irritates you. This can often mirror traits you may dislike in yourself. Another effective exercise is to dedicate specific journal entries to your shadow, where you express feelings or thoughts that seem taboo or unacceptable. Allow yourself to write freely without judgment. Set a timer for 10 minutes and let your pen flow. You might be surprised at what emerges when you give yourself the freedom to explore those hidden corners of your mind. Establishing a routine around journaling can also bolster your connection with your shadow self. Try setting the same time each day for your journaling practice. This consistency creates a sacred ritual that encourages deeper exploration over time. Consider including physical objects that represent your shadow in your writing space, such as a dark-colored stone or a piece of art that evokes strong feelings. These tangible reminders can prompt deeper reflection and enrich your journaling experience. Remember, the goal is not to banish your shadow, but to meet it with curiosity and compassion. This is where true inner transformation begins. Meditation for deep self-exploration. Meditation serves as a powerful tool for encountering and embracing what many refer to as the inner shadow, the part of ourselves that we often shy away from or deny. This shadow represents not just our fears and insecurities, but also those hidden aspects of our personality that, when acknowledged, can significantly transform our understanding of ourselves. During meditation, when we settle into stillness, we create an inner space where we can observe these parts of ourselves without judgment. Imagine sitting quietly and allowing those thoughts, feelings, and memories to surface. Instead of trying to suppress or escape them, meditation invites you to greet them like old friends. This process can be challenging but ultimately rewarding, revealing insights and emotions that have long been buried beneath the surface. Embracing the shadow helps incorporate these aspects into a more authentic self, leading to healing and deeper self-acceptance. One practical tip for integrating deeper self-exploration into your meditation practice is to keep a journal beside you. After each session, take a few moments to jot down any thoughts, feelings, or insights that emerge during your meditation. This not only reinforces your discoveries, but also creates a tangible record of your journey towards self-awareness. The act of writing can further help clarify your thoughts and evolve your understanding of your inner landscape over time. Chapter 4: The Light and Dark Within. Embracing the duality of human nature. Understanding the concept of duality in human nature is essential to grasping the complexities of our existence. Each person embodies a spectrum of traits that can oscillate between light and dark. The light represents our virtues, kindness, courage, and empathy, while the dark encapsulates our vices, anger, jealousy, and fear. These opposing forces coexist within us, shaping our reactions, choices, and ultimately, our identities. Acknowledging this duality allows us to recognize that no one is purely good or purely evil. Instead, we are a blend of qualities, capable of growth and change. Embracing this reality instills a sense of acceptance and encourages an honest reflection of our true selves. Accepting our duality is crucial for true self-understanding. When we recognize our shadow, the parts of ourselves we might prefer to ignore, we first gain clarity. This acknowledgement allows us to confront our flaws and misunderstandings, leading to personal growth. Rather than viewing our dark traits as entirely negative, we can understand their origins and impacts. They can serve as lessons or warnings about our boundaries and choices. Embracing both the light and the dark within helps us cultivate a comprehensive perspective of who we are, providing valuable insights into our underlying motivations and fears. In doing so, we open the door to genuine self-compassion. By acknowledging the dual aspects of our nature, we prepare ourselves to interact with the world more meaningfully. Cultivating a practice of self-reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or honest conversations with trusted friends, can be invaluable. This practice allows us to explore our duality with curiosity instead of fear or shame. As we delve into our complexities, we can learn to harmonize the light and dark, creating a more integrated sense of self. This journey not only enhances our self-awareness, but also strengthens our relationships with others as we embrace the shared humanity in everyone. The gifts of the shadow. Acknowledging the shadow unveils a treasure trove of unique strengths and insights that often remain hidden beneath the surface. When we dare to look into the darker corners of our psyche, we find not just fear and shame, but also resilience and resourcefulness. This journey into the shadow teaches us about our coping mechanisms, revealing how we can turn struggles into strengths. For example, what you perceive as envy might also highlight your aspirations. Recognizing such dynamics transforms perceived flaws into stepping stones towards growth. The shadow invites us to confront our biases and patterns, enabling a deeper understanding of who we are, thus enriching our interactions with others and our sense of self. Through this exploration, we can cultivate empathy towards ourselves and those around us, creating a ripple effect of positive perception. The true magic lies in transforming the shadow into a source of creativity and empowerment. When you accept the aspects of yourself that you might usually dismiss or hide, you unlock a wellspring of innovative thinking and problem-solving. Your fears and vulnerabilities can fuel your artistic expression, driving unique ideas and perspectives that can only emerge from honesty with oneself. Instead of shying away from the uncomfortable aspects of your personality, embrace them. Consider a writer who draws from their insecurities to craft compelling characters, or a musician who channels their pain into breathtaking melodies. By recognizing the shadow as a crucial part of your identity, you can harness its energy for personal empowerment, allowing it to guide you toward authenticity and inspiration. Viewing the shadow through a creative lens can fundamentally change how you interact with challenges. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by negative traits or experiences, try to see them as opportunities for growth. In moments of doubt or frustration, ask yourself how these feelings can contribute to your creative pursuits. Whether it's journaling about your fears or using them as fuel for brainstorming solutions, integrating the lessons of your shadow can lead to breakthroughs that inspire not just you, but also others. Embrace this journey, as the deeper you explore, the richer your life can become. Overcoming fear of the dark side. Many of us wrestle with fears that stem from our encounters with the shadow self, the part of us that houses our insecurities, doubts, and suppressed emotions. These fears can manifest in numerous ways. Perhaps it's the fear of failure, the dread of rejection, or the anxiety that comes from confronting our hidden flaws. Acknowledging these fears is often step one. However, they tend to linger like shadows at dusk, which can be both disconcerting and daunting. As we contemplate who we really are, the fear of unveiling our darker characteristics can be paralyzing, making it tempting to avoid introspection altogether. Yet, facing these fears is crucial for personal growth and self-acceptance. Recognizing that everyone has a shadow self can provide solace, as it reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. Transforming fear into curiosity is key to overcoming the paralysis that can accompany our darkest thoughts. Instead of being overwhelmed by what we fear, we can approach these feelings with a sense of wonder and acceptance. Embrace curiosity by asking yourself probing questions. What lies beneath this fear? Why does this part of myself frighten me? When we shift our perspective to view these fears as puzzles to be solved rather than monsters to be avoided, we unlock the door to deeper self-awareness. Consider keeping a journal to track these thoughts and feelings. Write down your fears and explore them. Deconstructing them can reveal surprising insights. By cultivating acceptance towards our shadow self, we empower ourselves to embrace wholeness, integrating the light and dark aspects of our personality to become more balanced individuals. An essential practical tip is to practice mindfulness and self-compassion during this process. When fear arises, instead of judging yourself harshly, acknowledge the fear and your feelings without attaching blame. Remind yourself that exploring these aspects is brave and essential for growth. Engage with this journey of self-discovery openly and lightly. Humor can also serve as a great ally. Learn to laugh at the absurdity of your fears, recognizing that they are often exaggerated reflections of our worries. This helps to lessen their power, paving the way for growth and understanding. Such strategies don't just aid in overcoming fear. They enrich our experiences, helping us to approach our shadow self with the love and curiosity it deserves. Chapter 5: Facing the Shadow, the Hero's Journey. The Call to Adventure. Recognizing the need to confront one's inner shadow is often a pivotal moment in a person's life. This realization can feel like a sudden flash or a slow dawning, but it marks the beginning of a profound journey. The inner shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we often deny, ignore, or suppress, those dark corners of our psyche filled with fear, jealousy, pain, and unresolved conflicts. When the call to adventure comes, it challenges us to face these uncomfortable feelings head-on. It pushes us to acknowledge our flaws, fears, and the aspects of our character that we might prefer to leave hidden. This confrontation can be intimidating, but it is also essential for personal growth. By recognizing and accepting our shadow, we create the potential for healing and transformation. Understanding this call as an opportunity for transformation and growth is vital. Every great story in literature or film involves a character stepping out of their comfort zone and into the unknown. In our lives, responding to this call often means taking risks, venturing into uncharted territory where personal growth can flourish. This journey isn't easy. It requires courage and resilience as we navigate through our shadows. However, it is within this struggle that we discover our strengths and develop a more authentic version of ourselves. Embracing the call to adventure allows us to emerge from the darkness with new insights and enhanced self-awareness, transforming our weaknesses into sources of empowerment. Remember, every time you hesitate to face your fears or resist a challenge, consider that these moments could be the very catalyst for your growth. Embracing your shadow doesn't merely lead to self-discovery. It paves the way for unexpected opportunities. Thus, every call you hear may very well be the nudge you need towards becoming your best self. Trials and tribulations. The journey of shadow work is not an easy one. It often brings to light the areas of our psyche that we have buried deep, cloaked in shame or fear. Discomfort arises when we confront emotions that we've skillfully avoided. Regrets, insecurities, and past traumas bubble up, forcing us to address what we'd rather leave untouched. The The sensation is akin to peeling an onion. Each layer reveals more tears and perhaps a more pungent truth than we anticipated. It's the kind of growth that feels like stretching a muscle that hasn't been used in years, and it requires bravery and self-compassion to persevere. Embracing discomfort becomes a crucial part of this process, as it is often the doorway to profound self-discovery and transformation. Braving these trials is not just a test of endurance. They hold significant importance in our journey toward personal development and resilience. Each challenge encountered in shadow work serves as a stepping stone, building our capacity to withstand emotional turbulence. With each confrontation of our shadows, we cultivate resilience, the ability to bounce back and remain steadfast even when overwhelmed. It's during these testing moments that we uncover our inner strength, learning that we are much more capable than we initially believed. Trials push us out of our comfort zone, leveraging discomfort as a potent catalyst for growth. Through the lens of these experiences, we gain not only insight into our behaviors, but also the tools to navigate future obstacles with confidence. Remember that the most uncomfortable paths often lead to the most beautiful destinations. When stepping into your shadows feels like entering a dense fog, remind yourself that clarity lies on the other side. Embrace the struggles as they come, knowing that each uncomfortable moment serves a greater purpose in your evolution. A practical tip is to establish a support system, whether it's friends, therapy, or community groups, who can offer guidance, understanding, and encouragement as you dive into these deep waters. You don't have to navigate this challenging journey alone, and having allies can make all the difference. Transformation through courage. Facing the shadow within ourselves can feel like confronting a dark alley we'd prefer to avoid. Yet, this journey of integrating our shadows is perhaps the most courageous act of all. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It is the will to move forward despite it. It takes guts to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we'd rather hide, those traits we are conditioned to think are unworthy or shameful. When we begin to illuminate these aspects, we start the sacred process of transformation. This involves examining our insecurities, regrets, and anger, which often dictate our thoughts and actions without us even realizing it. The process is admittedly uncomfortable, but through this discomfort, we uncover hidden strengths and learn about our deepest desires. Celebrating the courage to confront our shadows is essential, as it allows us to reclaim the fragmented parts of ourselves and to appreciate the richness that comes with a fuller understanding of who we are. Stories of transformation abound when individuals choose to embrace their shadows. Take, for example, the story of a young woman who struggled with chronic anxiety. She often felt like an imposter and carried a deep fear of failure that paralyzed her at crucial moments. When she decided to delve deep into the reasons behind her anxiety, she found an unspoken trauma from her past, a shadow she'd neglected for years. Through therapy, she faced that trauma, acknowledged her feelings, and gradually integrated them into her life narrative. Instead of merely running from her fear, she learned to dance with it, discovering in the process newfound resilience and creativity. As a result, her anxiety transformed into a source of insight, guiding her to express herself through art and storytelling. Her journey exemplifies how embracing our shadows can spark profound changes, building a life that reflects authenticity rather than fear. Transformation is not a one-time event. It is a continual process that requires vigilance and dedication. Every encounter with our shadows offers a lesson and a chance for growth. When we choose to integrate these aspects rather than dismiss them, we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and increase our emotional repertoire. This journey might not be easy, but maintaining courage allows us to craft a richer, more nuanced story of our lives. As a practical tip, consider starting a journal where you can safely explore and reflect on your own shadows. This simple act can foster insights and aid in your ongoing journey toward integration and self-acceptance. Chapter 6: Understanding Shadow Archetypes. The rebel, the victim, and the saboteur. Understanding shadow archetypes is essential because they play a significant role in shaping our behavior. The rebel, the victim, and the saboteur are characters that reside within us all, often influencing our actions without our conscious awareness. The rebel embodies defiance and a desire for freedom, pushing against the restrictions imposed by society or authority. Meanwhile, the victim archetype represents feelings of powerlessness and a tendency to perceive oneself as at the mercy of circumstances. Finally, the saboteur is the internal critic that undermines our efforts, whispering doubts and fears that can hold us back from achieving our goals. Recognizing how these archetypes influence our thoughts and actions allows us to gain greater control over our lives and decisions. In daily life, these archetypes manifest in various ways, often influencing our reactions and choices. For instance, when faced with a challenging situation at work, the rebel may rise up, prompting us to challenge the status quo or defy an unjust directive. On the other hand, when feeling overwhelmed by personal struggles, the victim mindset might take over, leading to self-pity and a sense of helplessness. When trying to launch a new project, the saboteur could rear its head, causing procrastination through fear of failure or perfectionism. These dynamics can clash within us, leading to confusion and conflict, and ultimately affecting our decisions and relationships. It's crucial to become aware of these patterns so we can choose more empowering responses. An effective way to navigate the complexities of these archetypes is to engage in self-reflection. Journaling can be a powerful tool for uncovering which archetype is dominating your mindset in different scenarios. Consider situations where you felt stuck or powerless, and identify the inner dialogue you were experiencing. By recognizing when the rebel, victim, or saboteur is influencing your thoughts, you can begin to address those feelings constructively. For instance, if you find yourself adopting a victim mindset, challenge that narrative by acknowledging the power you do have in the situation. This understanding allows you to break free from these limiting archetypes, making choices that align with your true potential. The inner critic. The inner critic often resides in the darker corners of our minds, a voice that seems to know just which buttons to push to create self-doubt. This voice is not just an annoying whisper. It is a prominent aspect of the shadow, the part of ourselves we're often reluctant to accept or acknowledge. The inner critic meticulously points out our flaws, reminding us of failures and shortcomings. It can manifest as that nagging thought that follows us during moments of vulnerability, convincing us that we're simply not good enough, whether it's in our professional lives, personal relationships, or creative pursuits. Many of us carry this internal monologue from our upbringing, where external criticisms were internalized, morphing into this persistent self-sabotaging force that tells us we will never succeed or belong. Recognizing its presence is the first step in disarming its power. Acknowledging that this voice is separate from our true selves allows us to examine the intentions behind it and question its validity. Taking practical steps each day to cultivate positivity can gradually silence the inner critic. This might involve affirming one's worth through daily affirmations or surrounding oneself with supportive and uplifting individuals who reinforce a positive mindset. Writing down accomplishments, no matter how small, provides tangible proof of one's abilities and successes. When you actively keep track of positive traits and moments of achievement, it creates a counter-narrative against the inner critic's predictions of failure. Ultimately, embracing the idea that everyone has doubts, imperfections, and an inner critic allows you to exist in a shared human experience. Accepting this can be liberating and can significantly reduce the power that self-doubt holds over you. Practicing these strategies consistently leads to a more resilient self-identity that is less swayed by negativity and more focused on growth. Recognizing your own archetypes. Recognizing your personal shadow archetypes is like shining a flashlight into a dimly lit room. It allows you to uncover hidden parts of your personality that may influence your life in subtle but powerful ways. Think of your shadow as the collection of characteristics and impulses you tend to ignore or suppress, often because they don't fit the image you wish to present to the world. These aspects aren't inherently negative. They simply represent facets of you that, if left unrecognized, may control your behavior from the shadows. Take a moment to reflect on moments when you felt irrational anger or jealousy. What triggered those feelings? Often, these reactions stem from aspects of ourselves that we have repressed or denied. Engaging in creative activities such as journaling or drawing can provide a safe space to explore these feelings. When you put pen to paper or brush to canvas, allow the raw emotions to surface. What stories do your inner characters tell? What archetypes emerge? By embracing these insights, you can start to understand your shadow and reclaim those lost parts of yourself. Understanding how your shadow archetypes impact your relationships and choices can be a transformative journey. Each time you engage with someone else, your hidden archetypes may influence your reactions, whether you realize it or not. Consider how you interact with friends, family, or colleagues. Do you find yourself drawn to certain dynamics, such as playing the peacemaker or the rebel? Recognizing these patterns can give you insight into your relational tendencies. For example, if you often feel the need to control situations, it might reflect a shadow archetype that craves security or autonomy. This realization can prompt you to approach relationships with more empathy and understanding. Moreover, your choices, from the professional paths you take to the values you prioritize, are often informed by what lies beneath the surface. By acknowledging and accepting your archetypes, you open the door to making more conscious choices that align with your true self rather than reactive patterns. It's all about creating a dialogue with those buried aspects of yourself, leading to authenticity in how you connect with others. One practical tip to aid in this exploration is to regularly check in with yourself. Create a space, be it a physical journal or a mental practice, where you can reflect on your feelings and actions at the end of each day. Ask yourself questions like, what triggered my emotional responses today? Or did I notice any behaviors that felt out of alignment with how I truly want to be? Over time, these reflections can reveal recurring themes in your shadow archetypes. Ultimately, the more you practice this self-reflection, the better equipped you will be to understand your hidden motivations and the impact they have on your life. Chapter 7: Shadow in Relationships. The Mirror Effect. Relationships often serve as mirrors, reflecting not only our outward behaviors, but also the shadow aspects of ourselves that we may prefer to keep hidden. When we engage with others, we're invited to see the traits we either admire or detest in them, traits that often mirror our own internal struggles or unresolved issues. For instance, if you find yourself irritated by someone's arrogance, it might be worth examining where arrogance appears in your own life, even in subtle ways. This profound reflection isn't just a matter of self-judgment. It's an opportunity for growth and self-awareness. Acknowledging these traits can lead us to our shadows, those parts of ourselves that we often reject or ignore, and can illuminate paths towards understanding and healing. Understanding this mirror effect can significantly enrich our connections with others. When we recognize that our reactions to loved ones and friends are windows into our own psyche, we can approach these relationships with more compassion and curiosity. Instead of blaming others for how they make us feel, we start asking ourselves why we feel that way. This shift in perspective fosters deeper conversations, enhances empathy, and helps cultivate a more fulfilling and authentic relationship dynamic. By understanding that our emotions often reflect our inner states, we become less reactive and more proactive, capable of nurturing a sense of connection that transcends superficial interactions. To harness the power of the mirror effect, take a moment during conversations or conflicts to reflect on what emotions surface within you. Ask yourself what this response reveals about your inner world. This practice not only aids in personal growth, but also deepens your relationships, transforming them from simple exchanges into profound pathways of mutual understanding and development. Healing through connection. Vulnerability in relationships holds immense healing potential. When we allow ourselves to be open and honest about our feelings, we create a safe space for others to do the same. This exchange fosters trust and connection. It's no surprise that many of us guard our vulnerabilities like precious treasures, fearing rejection or misunderstanding. Yet, it is precisely this openness that can lead to profound healing. When we share our fears, insecurities, and pain with those we trust, we invite them to step closer, bridging the gap created by loneliness and isolation. In these moments of shared vulnerability, we begin to see each other in a light that is far more authentic, allowing deeper connections to flourish. Consider the story of two friends who struggled for years with the pressures of their personal lives. Each felt the weight of their shadows, but seldom expressed this to one another. One evening, during a quiet conversation over coffee, one friend dared to share her struggles with anxiety and how they affected her daily life. This honest admission opened the floodgates. The other friend revealed his own battle with depression. The act of sharing their shadows intertwined their stories, igniting a newfound intimacy that neither had anticipated. This mutual acknowledgement not only deepened their bond, but also allowed them both to feel less alone in their struggles. Every person has their burdens, often carried in silence, but sharing these experiences can ignite a journey toward healing. Emotionally heavy conversations can become a healing balm when shared with understanding companions. The next time you find yourself feeling weighed down, consider confiding in someone you trust. It's in these moments of connection that we can find light in our shadows and transform our pain into communal understanding. Shadow work and boundaries. Engaging in shadow work is an enlightening yet intense journey. It's essential to recognize that this process can stir up hidden feelings, unresolved issues, and deeply buried parts of ourselves. To navigate this path effectively, setting healthy boundaries becomes crucial. Boundaries act like a protective shield, allowing you to explore the dark corners of your psyche without feeling overwhelmed or unsafe. They not only preserve your emotional well-being, but also create a space where you can confront your inner shadows without external pressures weighing you down. When you establish clear limits about what you are willing to explore and who you allow into this sacred space, you empower yourself to delve into the depths of your psyche in a more meaningful way. Being mindful of what triggers you and communicating your needs with others can transform this potentially tumultuous journey into a structured exploration of self-discovery. As you embark on this journey, it's equally important to prioritize self-care. Maintaining personal space is essential for processing your thoughts and feelings effectively. One practical tool to ensure you're nurturing yourself is to create a self-care plan tailored to your needs. This could include setting aside quiet time each day to reflect, journaling your experiences, or even engaging in creative outlets such as art or music, which can be therapeutic in expressing your feelings. Don't hesitate to block off time when you can recharge, whether it's through a relaxing bath, a walk in nature, or simply curling up with a good book. These moments of self-care act as rest stops on your journey of shadow work, where you can pause, rejuvenate, and gather your strength for the next phase of your exploration. Additionally, remember to surround yourself with supportive individuals who respect your boundaries and encourage your growth. The right support network can make all the difference when facing uncomfortable truths. Understanding that the journey of shadow work can be challenging doesn't mean you should shy away from it. Instead, equip yourself with the tools to create a safe environment where you can thrive. A practical tip for success is to regularly check in with yourself throughout this process. Ask questions like, "How am I feeling today?" Or, "What do I need right now?" Acknowledging your feelings in real time will help maintain your boundaries and ensure that you're not pushing yourself too hard. Remember, this is a journey, not a race, and the goal isn't just to face the shadows, but to learn from them in a way that empowers you and nurtures your authentic self. Chapter 8. Reclaiming the Shadow's Power. The creative force of the shadow. The concept of the shadow, often associated with the darker aspects of our psyche, can serve as a powerful source of creativity and inspiration. Many people view the shadow as something to be feared or suppressed, yet when we embrace it, we can unlock hidden potential. This notion stems from the idea that our fears, insecurities, and unresolved conflicts often fuel authentic artistic expression. When artists confront the complexities of their shadows, they bring forth raw, honest perspectives that resonate deeply with others. This exploration might lead to unexpected innovations, as tapping into what is usually silenced can reveal hidden truths that spark remarkable creativity. Throughout history, numerous artists and thinkers have harnessed their shadow to produce profound and meaningful work. Take Vincent van Gogh, for example. His struggles with mental health shone through in his vibrant yet turbulent paintings, allowing viewers to feel the depth of his internal battles. Similarly, Sylvia Plath's poetry is a testament to her raw emotional experiences, which she didn't shy away from expressing. The resulting work reveals an incredible synthesis of personal pain and beauty, inviting readers into her tumultuous world. These examples illustrate how acknowledging and embracing our shadows can lead to artistic breakthroughs, enriching our lives and the lives of those who engage with our work. Therefore, it's essential to view the shadow not merely as a burden, but as a creative partner. Engaging with this aspect of ourselves can open up new pathways to insight and invention. A practical tip for nurturing this connection is to dedicate time to reflect on your own fears or insecurities. Journaling your thoughts, discussing them with trusted friends, or even channeling these feelings into art can help you explore your shadow. Embracing these experiences might be uncomfortable at first, but ultimately, this confrontation can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and greater creative expression. Turning anger into power. Anger can be a powerful force when channeled correctly. Rather than letting those feelings consume you, it's possible to convert that intense energy into something productive. Imagine the adrenaline rush of anger transforming from a reactive explosion into a carefully crafted response. This shift is not only effective, it can be a catalyst for personal growth. Recognizing that anger often stems from unmet expectations or perceived injustices is key to understanding its root. By acknowledging your feelings and reframing them, you can harness an emotional state often seen as negative and direct it toward your goals. This shift enhances your resilience and helps you navigate challenges better, ultimately making you stronger and more adept at handling adversity. There are numerous techniques to transform destructive impulses into positive actions. One effective method is to practice mindfulness, which encourages staying present with your emotions without judgment. When anger arises, take a moment to breathe deeply and assess the situation. This practice creates a space between the feeling and your response, allowing you to choose a reaction aligned with your goals instead of one driven by impulse. Another method is to engage in physical activity, which helps release pent-up energy and rechannel it towards something beneficial. Whether it's going for a run, lifting weights, or even dancing, movement can elevate your mood and reduce stress, turning anger into vigor. Keeping a journal to express your feelings creatively can also be liberating, providing clarity on what truly matters to you. As you start to understand and manage your anger, it's beneficial to consciously direct that energy toward positive outcomes. One practical tip to remember is to set specific goals for when you feel angry. Instead of dwelling on what triggered your frustration, challenge yourself to identify actionable steps you can take to improve the situation or your response to it. This proactive approach not only mitigates the negative effects of anger, but also empowers you to create change. The next time you feel that familiar fire ignite within you, pause, reflect, and remember that this energy can be the fuel for your success. The shadow as a guide. Understanding the shadow involves recognizing it as an integral part of ourselves that holds not only our fears and insecurities, but also our untapped potential. This part of our psyche often whispers truths we prefer to ignore, yet it can serve as a remarkable compass for self-discovery and personal growth. The shadow invites us to confront what we have pushed aside, our envy, anger, and shame. As we become more aware of these feelings, we find opportunities for transformation that can lead us towards greater authenticity and resilience. When we embrace the shadow, we learn to understand our reactions and the underlying emotions that drive them. This process sheds light on our patterns, revealing what truly motivates us, allowing us to make better choices in our life's journey. Listening to our shadows as we navigate life's challenges can be profoundly enlightening. When difficulties arise, we often experience a range of emotions that can cloud our judgment. By stepping back and examining these feelings rather than suppressing them, we can uncover profound insights about our desires and limitations. For example, when jealousy flares up, it may reveal unmet needs or aspirations that can no longer be ignored. Similarly, by acknowledging our fears instead of shunning them, we can educate ourselves about our vulnerabilities. This willingness to engage with our shadow empowers us to transform moments of struggle into stepping stones for courage and self-acceptance. Therefore, the next time you face a hurdle, take a moment to sit with your feelings, listen to your shadow, and let it guide you through the darkness toward a clearer understanding of your path. Ultimately, embracing your shadow is not about dwelling in negativity. It's about recognizing the richness of your entire being, including the parts that are hard to face. By doing this, you create a more balanced view of yourself and a more profound connection to others. Instead of fearing the discomfort your shadow brings, consider it a seasoned guide that offers wisdom and clarity in uncertain times. The practical tip is to practice regular self-reflection, perhaps through journaling or meditation, to keep the lines of communication open with your shadow. Being aware of your inner dialogues and fostering a relationship with this side of yourself can lead to profound insights, making the journey of self-discovery not just enlightening, but genuinely transformative. Chapter 9. Practical Tools for Shadow Integration. Inner Dialogue Techniques. Positive self-talk and inner dialogue are powerful tools for integrating the different parts of ourselves, especially the shadow, the aspects we may suppress or shy away from. This is where the magic lies. Engaging in a dialogue with ourselves can illuminate hidden fears and desires, transforming them into strengths. To start, embrace the idea that your self-conversations can be both nurturing and enlightening. It's about replacing the critical voice that whispers negativity with one that offers kindness, support, and understanding. When you notice feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt, ask yourself, what would I say to a friend in this situation? Shifting your perspective from self-criticism to compassionate self-dialogue opens the door to healing and acceptance. Practicing exercises to develop compassionate conversations with yourself can create a nurturing inner landscape. One effective method is to set aside a few minutes each day for a self-check-in. Begin by finding a comfortable, quiet space. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and visualize a compassionate figure, perhaps someone you admire or love. Now, imagine a dialogue where you can express your feelings, fears, and desires. What does your compassionate self say to you? How does it respond to your worries? You can even write down this conversation to revisit later. This exercise cultivates a deeper understanding of your emotional state and reinforces the idea that you deserve the same kindness you extend to others. Another engaging technique is to create a mantra or affirmation that resonates with your personal journey. Repeat this affirmation daily, especially during tough times. It could be as simple as "I am enough" or "I embrace all parts of myself." The key is to select words that feel genuine and empowering to you. Reflecting on these phrases regularly, particularly when faced with challenges, can gradually shift your inner dialogue from one of self-doubt to one of self-empowerment. Integrating positive self-talk into your routine supports a healthier, more compassionate relationship with yourself, which ultimately nurtures your growth and well-being. Visualizations for integration. Visualizations can be a powerful tool in understanding and integrating the often ignored parts of ourselves, commonly referred to as the shadow. This notion, rooted in psychology and self-exploration, suggests that our shadows hold the key to our deepest insights and personal growth. By employing visualization techniques, we can bridge the gap between our conscious awareness and these shadowy facets of our personality. Imagine painting a vivid picture of your emotions, fears, and desires, allowing you to confront and embrace them rather than bury them deep within. Such techniques create a dialogue between our conscious mind and the hidden aspects of ourselves, fostering acceptance and understanding. When you visualize these elements, you are not merely observing. You are inviting them into your life as companions on your journey, leading to a more complete and authentic self. To experience the power of visualization for integration, take a moment to find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, grounding yourself in the present moment. Now, envision a serene landscape that feels inviting and safe. As you explore this place in your mind, consider a shadow aspect that you've been avoiding, perhaps a fear or a part of yourself that feels uncomfortable. Picture this aspect as a figure in your visualization, not as a threat, but as a friend seeking connection. Invite this figure to share its story with you. What does it need? What fears does it harbor? Allow yourself the vulnerability of listening without judgment. This exercise nurtures your intuitive understanding and brings forth clarity about aspects of your personality that contribute to who you are. Remember, the goal is integration, leading to a fuller, richer existence where you are not at odds with yourself. The journey of integration through visualization does not have to end here. Keep this practice alive by setting aside a few minutes each day to visualize and engage with your shadow aspects. Make it a ritual where you check in with yourself, acknowledge your fears, and celebrate your strengths. By fostering this ongoing conversation, you create a harmonious relationship between your conscious self and your shadow, leading to greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. Embrace this process, for it is within the shadows that the brightest insights often reside. Working with a therapist or coach. Seeking professional guidance in shadow work can be one of the most transformative decisions you make on your journey of self-discovery. A therapist or coach provides not just a safe space to explore your inner world, but also the expertise to help you navigate through complex emotions and thoughts that often arise. When you unpack the layers of your psyche, you may encounter feelings of discomfort, fear, or even resistance. Having someone skilled at walking alongside you can mean the difference between feeling lost and feeling liberated. Professionals can offer unique insights and tools that empower you to confront your shadows with confidence, ultimately leading to a more authentic version of yourself. Choosing the right therapist or coach is paramount to the effectiveness of your shadow work. It's essential to look for someone who resonates with your needs and values, as this relationship forms the foundation for your healing journey. Start by thinking about what qualities are important to you. Perhaps it's their experience with shadow work, a specific therapeutic approach, or even their personal style. Researching potential candidates can involve reading reviews, checking their credentials, and even booking an initial consultation to gauge how you feel in their presence. Pay attention to your instincts. A supportive therapist or coach will encourage you to dive deeper and help you feel safe in exploring the parts of yourself that may feel daunting. They should embody patience, empathy, and understanding, allowing you to unfold at your own pace. In the end, the right guidance can amplify your growth and enrich your experience in ways you might not anticipate. As you embark on this journey, remain curious and open-minded. Remember that this collaborative effort is about you, so don't hesitate to voice your needs and expectations. Consider checking in periodically with your therapist or coach about your progress and how you feel about the process. This feedback loop can enhance your experience and ensure that you're on the path that truly serves your transformation. Chapter 10: The Spiritual Aspect of the Shadow. Light and Dark in Spiritual Traditions. Various spiritual traditions across the globe have approached the concepts of light and dark with a profound reverence, often symbolizing a deeper understanding of human experience. In many cultures, light is associated with purity, knowledge, and divinity, while darkness often embodies mystery, ignorance, or the unacknowledged parts of ourselves. The ancient Egyptians regarded the sun god Ra as the source of light and life, signifying hope and order, while the goddess Nut represented the night sky, a space of potential and the unknown. Similarly, in Hindu philosophy, divinity is frequently depicted in bright forms, such as Krishna or Vishnu, juxtaposed against the more complex representations of divine beings who dwell in shadow, such as Kali. These portrayals invite followers to reflect on their inner journeys, suggesting that darkness can be just as vital as light in achieving wholeness. Understanding spirituality, particularly regarding incorporating the shadow, becomes an essential discussion in this exploration. The term shadow stems from Carl Jung's psychological theory, suggesting that it comprises the repressed or unacknowledged aspects of ourselves. Spirituality, in this context, provides a framework for integrating these darker elements, transforming them from sources of fear into profound sources of insight. Various practices, such as meditation or shadow work, allow individuals to confront these hidden parts, facilitating personal growth and deeper connections with their inner selves. Embracing the darker facets of our psyche is not merely about acknowledgement. It's about transforming fear into wisdom, where the shadow becomes a teacher rather than an adversary. Spiritual traditions encourage this integration, positing that a balanced approach to both light and dark can lead to a fuller, richer human experience. Recognizing the interplay between light and dark fosters an inclusive perspective on spirituality. It might encourage individuals to examine their own beliefs, traditions, and experiences, leading to personal revelations and a better understanding of collective human experiences. A practical tip for anyone seeking to navigate this balance involves daily self-reflection. Carving out a few moments to meditate on your own light and dark aspects can unveil significant insights. This practice not only nurtures personal growth, but also cultivates empathy towards the complexities in others, reinforcing that to understand the divine, one must embrace all facets of existence. The ego and the soul. The ego often presents itself as a strong, confident guide through life, but it is vital to recognize its deeper relationship with the shadow and the true essence of the soul. The shadow, representing the unconscious parts of ourselves that we tend to ignore or deny, can sometimes clash with our sense of identity. When we think we are our ego, we risk missing the rich layers of our true self. The process of understanding how the ego influences our thoughts and actions can shine a light on the shadow, allowing us to confront and embrace these hidden aspects. It opens the door for self-discovery, showing us that the soul is something far more expansive than the limited view the ego provides. Equals shadow work as a path to enlightenment. Shadow work is often viewed as an uncomfortable and challenging process, but it is a crucial step in the journey towards spiritual enlightenment. This inward exploration invites us to confront the parts of ourselves that we typically ignore or deny. The shadow, comprised of our hidden fears, unmet desires, and past traumas, holds immense power. By bringing these aspects into the light, we start unraveling layers of self-deception, ultimately facilitating genuine growth. The notion of enlightenment isn't merely about accessing a higher spiritual state. It's about the reclamation of all parts of ourselves. In this holistic approach, the more we accept and integrate our shadow, the less power those buried feelings and memories have over us, leading to a more authentic engagement with the world and ourselves. Embracing the shadow can lead to a more profound connection to the self. As we acknowledge and reflect on our darker aspects, we unveil the truths that reside within us. This process isn't just about understanding what we dislike or fear. It's about fostering compassion for ourselves. When we confront our insecurities, we stop allowing them to dictate our actions and thoughts. This increased self-awareness opens the door to deeper insights about our values, motivations, and desires. Additionally, acknowledging our shadow fosters empathy for others. The more we recognize our flaws, the more we understand that everyone has their battles to face. This interconnectedness becomes a path towards greater compassion and humanity, enabling us to build authentic relationships rooted in acceptance rather than judgment. Taking time for personal reflection through practices like journaling or meditation can significantly aid in embracing your shadow. Consider moments when you felt intense emotions, whether joy or anger, and explore their origins. Ask yourself why certain triggers evoke strong reactions and what hidden stories lie beneath the surface. By continuously engaging with these matters, you cultivate a mindset that welcomes growth and understanding. Remember, the path to enlightenment is not a straight line, but a winding road filled with self-discovery. Embrace each revelation, for they are stepping stones toward a richer, more fulfilling life. Chapter 11: The Shadow and the Body. Somatic Awareness. Understanding our bodies is crucial, especially when we delve into the depths of shadow work. Many people overlook the significance of physical sensations, often dismissing them as mere byproducts of stress or fatigue. Instead, these sensations serve as vital clues to our emotional landscapes. When we recognize the connection between our body and our feelings, we unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves. This awareness not only enhances our journey through shadow work, but also empowers us to navigate life with greater clarity. Every ache, tension, or flutter can reveal layers of suppressed experiences that need our attention. Embracing this somatic awareness means giving ourselves permission to listen to what our bodies are saying, fostering a more profound engagement with our emotional and psychological states. Repressed emotions often manifest through physical sensations, acting as distress signals from the shadows within us. These sensations don't surface randomly. They tell us stories we might have buried. For instance, tightness in the chest might indicate anxiety or grief tied to unresolved issues, while persistent headaches could point to deeper frustrations waiting to be understood. By tuning into these signals, we can begin to unravel the threads of our shadows. Engaging with the physical expression of our repressed emotions leads to transformative breakthroughs. Each symptom is like a map guiding us back to experiences we have avoided. The key is to approach these sensations with curiosity rather than fear, inviting them to reveal the deeper wounds that require healing. Being present in our bodies allows us to cultivate a more compassionate relationship with ourselves. A practical tip to enhance this journey is to practice mindful awareness. Take moments throughout your day to check in with your body. Ask yourself what sensations you are feeling and where you might be holding tension. A simple breathing exercise can also help. As you inhale deeply, visualize drawing in calmness, while on the exhale, imagine releasing the weight of stored emotions. This practice not only grounds you, but also strengthens your ability to understand your body's language, paving the way for deeper emotional healing in the context of shadow work. Physical manifestations of the shadow. The shadow, a term popularized by Carl Jung, refers to the parts of ourselves we often keep hidden or refuse to acknowledge. It can manifest in our physical state and behaviors in surprising ways. When we experience unresolved emotions, stress, or repressed feelings, they can show up as tension in our muscles, headaches, fatigue, or digestive issues. For instance, someone carrying guilt or shame may experience tightness in their chest, while repressed anger could lead to tension headaches or chronic pain. These physical sensations are not merely coincidental. They are echoes of our inner turmoil, revealing the psychological weight we carry. The way we move through the world, our gestures, and even our posture can be affected by the shadows we harbor. Those who are overly critical of themselves may carry themselves in a hunched posture, while individuals who are rebelling against their hidden self can display aggressive body language. Exploring the connections between mind, body, and emotional health opens a window into understanding how these elements interact. Our thoughts and feelings can directly influence our physical state. Stressful situations can lead to feelings of anxiety, which in turn can create physical manifestations like rapid heart rates or shallow breathing. This interplay shows how essential it is to pay attention to both our mental and emotional states and how they inform our bodily experiences. Engaging in wellness practices such as mindfulness meditation can help cultivate awareness of these connections, allowing us to identify and address the underlying issues tied to the shadow. By recognizing the tension in our bodies and linking it to our emotional health, we can start to create a more holistic approach to our well-being. Understanding the physical manifestations of the shadow and their connection to our emotional and mental states provides invaluable insights for personal growth. Consider incorporating daily practices that promote awareness of both body and mind. Simple exercises like journaling about your feelings or practicing yoga can help illuminate those hidden aspects of yourself. They offer a pathway to releasing tension, enhancing your emotional awareness, and ultimately fostering a healthier relationship with your body and mind. Movement as integration. Movement practices like dance, yoga, and even simple stretching can help us weave together the various parts of ourselves, including those darker or hidden aspects we often refer to as our shadow. When we engage in these physical activities, we create a space in which we can reflect and explore our emotions, allowing us to face uncomfortable truths or neglected feelings. Through the rhythm of a dance or the flow of a yoga sequence, we invite our shadow into the spotlight, acknowledging its presence rather than pushing it away. Moving our bodies encourages a deeper awareness of the self, fostering an opportunity to understand how our past experiences shape our present. Each movement becomes a form of expression, a dialogue between the conscious and unconscious parts of our psyche, making the integration of the shadow not just a possibility, but a reality. Embracing activities like dance or yoga isn't just about exercise. It's about celebrating our entire being and finding unity within ourselves. Whether you find yourself swaying to music, twisting through yoga poses, or simply allowing your body to move freely, these practices can serve as a joyful reclamation of your whole self. They provide an invitation to let go of strict judgments and cultivate self-acceptance, allowing every part of you to dance. By doing so, you honor not only your light, but also the shadows that make you whole. Connecting body and mind through these creative movements fosters a sense of liberation and joy, highlighting that unity is found not in perfection, but in embracing every facet of our existence. Consider scheduling regular movement sessions into your life, whether it's a weekly dance class or daily yoga practice. Allow these moments to be your time to explore and connect with yourself, transforming any tension or resistance into fluid expression. Your body knows how to lead you, so trust it and follow where it wants to go. Simple practices like conscious breathing while moving can facilitate deeper integration, creating a powerful environment for healing and self-discovery. Chapter 12: Breaking Free from Shadow Conditioning. Identifying old beliefs. Beliefs are powerful forces in our lives. They shape our reality and influence everything we do, often in ways we don't even realize. Some beliefs serve us well, providing motivation and direction, while others act like invisible chains, restricting our personal growth and contributing to the shadows that lurk in our psyche. These shadows symbolize the fears, doubts, and insecurities that cling to us, often stemming from outdated beliefs we've adopted over the years. It's important to recognize these limiting beliefs, as they can manifest as self-doubt or even anxiety, preventing us from reaching our full potential. They may have been helpful at one point, perhaps instilled by well-meaning parents, teachers, or societal expectations. But as we grow, many of these beliefs no longer serve a purpose in our lives. Questioning them can be a key step towards liberation and transformation. Self-reflection is the doorway to uncovering the origins of these long-held beliefs. It's like detective work for the soul, where you dig deep into the archives of your mind, seeking out thoughts or patterns that don't quite seem to fit your current aspirations. You might ask yourself questions like, why do I feel this way about money? Or, where did I learn to think I'm not good enough? Writing down your thoughts can often help in this exploration, acting as a mirror reflecting back the hidden beliefs that guide your judgments and choices. Think of it as a mental spring cleaning. By identifying and examining your beliefs, you not only unclutter your mind, but also uncover the real insights behind why you behave the way you do. Through this process of introspection, you can start separating your authentic self from the beliefs that have been imposed upon you. As you continue this journey of self-discovery, remember that it's perfectly acceptable to challenge these beliefs. Much like old clothes that no longer fit, they should be discarded so that you can make room for new, empowering ideas. Start with one belief at a time and explore its validity. Ask yourself if it still holds truth in the context of who you are today. This practice not only fosters personal growth, but also leads to a more authentic existence. The next time you catch yourself thinking in ways that feel confining, take a step back and question that thought. You might just find that the key to your freedom lies in the simple act of recognizing and releasing these old beliefs. Reprogramming the subconscious mind. Overhauling negative subconscious patterns can be a transformative experience. Many people are unaware that their thoughts and beliefs, rooted deep within their subconscious, dictate how they perceive the world and react to it. These patterns often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, or even upbringing. The first step in the journey of reprogramming is recognizing these patterns. This awareness serves as a mirror reflecting back the limiting beliefs we hold. Techniques such as journaling can help bring these subconscious patterns to the forefront, allowing one to challenge and dissect them. Once identified, the next step involves replacing these negative beliefs with more empowering ones. It's akin to clearing out old, dusty furniture from a room and making space for new, vibrant pieces that reflect your current vision for life. Affirmations and visualizations are powerful strategies that can aid in this process of reprogramming. Affirmations are positive statements that, when repeated regularly, start to shift the belief systems residing in the subconscious mind. For instance, declaring, "I am worthy of love and success," daily can slowly change the inner dialogue. Visualizations, on the other hand, involve imagining desired outcomes vividly, engaging all the senses to create a rich experience in the mind. When you visualize success or happiness, it sets a mental blueprint that the subconscious begins to recognize as reality. Committing to a daily practice of both affirmations and visualizations can create a profound shift in how you view yourself and the possibilities that lie ahead. Incorporating meditation into your routine can also enhance your efforts to reprogram your subconscious mind. Regular meditation allows for a deeper connection with your inner self, helping to peel back the layers of doubt and negativity. As you meditate, focus on the new beliefs you wish to adopt, seeing them as firmly rooted in your reality. Every small step counts, and embracing the journey itself can lead to profound insights and lasting changes. Remember, the subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, and with the right techniques, you hold the key to unlocking its full potential. Creating new patterns. Establishing new, empowering habits often begins with a shift in perspective. It's essential to recognize that habits, much like paths through a forest, can be woven anew with intention. The journey starts with identifying the small changes you want to integrate into your daily routine. For instance, instead of aiming for a monumental transformation overnight, consider introducing a single positive action that feels manageable. Whether it's dedicating just 5 minutes to mindfulness or replacing a morning coffee with a nutritious smoothie, these small shifts can accumulate, leading to profound change over time. The key lies in repetition and consistency. When we consciously choose to engage in uplifting behaviors, our minds and bodies begin to adapt, reshaping our very patterns of living. Commitment to personal growth is not merely a destination, but rather a lifelong journey. To foster this commitment, regular self-assessment becomes a powerful tool. Reflecting on progress markers, however small, can instill a sense of accomplishment and encourage further growth. Embrace moments of introspection, questioning not just what you're doing but why. This doesn't have to be a grave process. Infusing humor and wit into your reflections can create a lighthearted atmosphere where growth feels engaging rather than burdensome. Celebrate the progress, however incremental, and remember that every step forward is a testament to your resilience and adaptability. The beauty of self-assessment lies in its capacity to guide you, providing clarity on your evolving goals and forging a deeper connection with your evolving self. Every journey toward setting new patterns is unique and requires a blend of flexibility and determination. One practical tip is to document your progress in a journal, not just for accountability, but as a means to visualize the transformation over time. The act of writing can crystallize your thoughts and motivations, making it easier to keep track of how far you've come. When you find yourself straying from your chosen path, this tangible record will serve as a reminder of your commitment and the strategies that have propelled you forward. So, weave together your aspirations, humor, and reflection, and watch as the tapestry of your habits evolves into something magnificent. Chapter 13: The Liberated Self. Living authentically. Authenticity emerges naturally when we embrace our full selves, particularly after the often difficult journey of shadow integration. The shadow, that part of us that we tend to hide or reject, holds the key to our completeness. By acknowledging and integrating these hidden aspects, we move towards a holistic self that is rich in experience and understanding. Celebrating authenticity becomes a celebration of the unique tapestry of our lives, woven with threads of joy, sorrow, and everything in between. When we allow ourselves to be seen as we truly are, not only do we liberate ourselves, but we also inspire others to embark on their own path of self-acceptance. This journey is not merely about self-expression. It's a powerful, affirming act that champions the diverse human experience, proving that our quirks and shadows contribute to our individuality and collective beauty. Revealing your true self to the world requires immense courage. It means shedding the layers of societal expectations and judgments, stepping into the light of vulnerability. Many people struggle with this because it involves risking rejection and facing criticism. However, those who summon the courage to present their authentic selves often find profound liberation. It's about standing firm in your own truth, even when the world may not understand or accept it. This act of bravery does not just benefit the individual. It can transform communities, encouraging others to similarly embrace their truths. Such a ripple effect fosters deeper connections and empathy, leading to a more authentic society. Being real in a world full of facades is an extraordinary leap into authenticity that can resonate deeply with others. As you navigate your own journey toward authenticity, start by acknowledging the aspects of yourself that you may have set aside. Reflect on what it means to you to be true to yourself. Consider the small, everyday moments where you could infuse more of your genuine self into your interactions. Allow your imperfections to be a part of your narrative, and remember that authenticity is not performance. It's a state of being. Embrace the ebb and flow of this journey, knowing that each step toward revealing your true self is a victory in itself. Celebrate the quirks, the failures, and the triumphs as they all contribute to the vibrant portrait of who you are. Courage and vulnerability. Many people often view vulnerability as a weakness, a chink in the armor that protects them from judgment and rejection. Yet, what if we flip that notion on its head? Embracing vulnerability can actually be a source of immense strength and deep connection. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open the door to authentic experiences and relationships. It takes courage to share our fears, hopes, and insecurities, but doing so invites others to relate and connect with us on a more profound level. The magic happens when we realize that we are not alone in our struggles. We all have the same fear of judgment and the desire for acceptance, which makes vulnerability a shared human experience that binds us together. To truly connect with others, it's essential to embrace our imperfections. Nobody is perfect, and that's the beautiful part of being human. When we acknowledge our flaws and missteps, we create opportunities for deeper relationships. Instead of putting on a facade of perfection, which can be isolating, we can foster connections through honesty and authenticity. Sharing our stories of failure or uncertainty can be enlightening for both us and those around us, paving the way for mutual understanding and support. Remember that every flaw can be a stepping stone toward richer, more meaningful interactions. So, in your journey, don't shy away from showing your authentic self. It just might be the key to deepening your connections with others and cultivating a greater sense of belonging. When you're feeling vulnerable, whether in personal relationships or at work, practice sharing small aspects of yourself. You might start by expressing a minor fear or admitting a mistake. You'd be surprised by how many people resonate with your experiences. This slow unveiling can lead to more significant conversations and potentially stronger bonds. Embracing and expressing your vulnerabilities not only helps you feel freer, but can also encourage others to step into their own authenticity. As you cultivate that habit, you'll likely discover that connection is stronger when built on a foundation of shared experiences and mutual understanding. Freedom from judgment. Integrating the shadow is about acknowledging the parts of ourselves that we often hide or deny. It's not merely about accepting our flaws, but understanding that these so-called imperfections are integral to our identity. When we recognize and embrace these shadow aspects, we diminish their power over us. Fear of judgment often stems from feeling that we must present a polished, shiny exterior, that we must be perfect in the eyes of others. However, when we integrate our shadow, we allow ourselves to be fully authentic, which can actually disarm the fear of that judgment. This acceptance transforms our perception. Rather than seeing judgment as a threat, we start to view it as a natural response to vulnerability. Being open about our struggles and insecurities creates a stronger connection with others, who often resonate with those very experiences. Embracing this aspect of ourselves encourages a deeper engagement with both our personal journey and those around us. Living unapologetically means embracing who we are without fear of reprisal or disapproval. It's about recognizing that our worth is inherent, not dictated by the judgments of others. There's immense freedom in shedding the concern over what others might think. When we stand tall in our authenticity, we begin to celebrate life in a different way. Our choices, passions, and even quirks become sources of pride rather than embarrassment. The liberation found in this mindset is invigorating. Every day becomes an opportunity to express ourselves fully and creatively. This freedom fosters resilience. When we prioritize authenticity, the opinions of others carry less weight, and we become more capable of pursuing our dreams without reservation. It's essential to cultivate a mindset that not only accepts but revels in our uniqueness, understanding that true happiness lies in the courage to be ourselves. Embracing our true selves often inspires others, turning our journey into a shared celebration of individuality. To foster integration of your shadow, start small. Identify moments when you feel judged or insecure and reflect on how those feelings connect to hidden aspects of yourself. Acknowledging these feelings is a step towards liberation. Remember, living unapologetically doesn't mean disregarding others. It means honoring your truth while encouraging others to do the same. Chapter 14. The Collective Shadow. Societal Shadows. Shadows in society often manifest in ways that directly impact the collective well-being of individuals within a community. These shadows, which represent the darker, unacknowledged aspects of our shared humanity, can distort perceptions and lead to a host of social issues. When we ignore these shadows, we allow prejudice and inequality to thrive, affecting not just the marginalized but also the very fabric of society. It's crucial to examine how these societal shadows take root in our lives, influencing our thoughts, actions, and interactions. They often emerge from deeply ingrained beliefs and biases that whisper lies about others, perpetuating a cycle of misunderstanding and division. As these shadows loom larger, they create an environment where compassion is dimmed, leaving little room for empathy and connection. Addressing the issues of prejudice and inequality requires a deep dive into the origins of these shadows. They are often born from fear, ignorance, and historical contexts that shape our views on race, gender, and class. Acknowledging these roots is the first step toward dismantling the structures that maintain inequality. It's important to recognize that everyone carries shadows, but not everyone grapples with them. Those who do tend to foster a greater sense of awareness and understanding, ultimately contributing to a healthier society. When we shine a light on our collective shadows, we begin to see the links between individual experiences and broader social patterns, empowering us to challenge injustice and support inclusivity. To navigate these societal shadows effectively, it helps to cultivate self-awareness and encourage open dialogues about difficult topics. People should strive to engage in discussions that allow them to understand differing perspectives without fear of judgment. By fostering an environment of trust and openness, we can begin to dismantle the prejudice that exists and create pathways toward equality. It's not just about acknowledging our own shadows, but also about illuminating those of others, leading to a more compassionate society where every voice is heard and valued. As we move through our interactions daily, let us remember that confronting these shadows is a shared responsibility that can lead to transformative outcomes for all. Healing the collective. Collective shadow work invites societies to confront and integrate their hidden fears, biases, and traumas. Just as individuals must face their inner darkness for personal growth, communities, too, must engage with the uncomfortable truths lurking beneath their shared histories. This process is not merely about acknowledgement. It's a transformative journey that requires courage and commitment. Societal healing necessitates dialogue, vulnerability, and the willingness to listen deeply to marginalized voices. By doing this, communities unlock new pathways for progress, allowing empathy and understanding to flourish. Embracing shadow work can lead to profound realizations. For instance, when a community openly discusses its historical injustices, it can sow the seeds of reconciliation and trust. In this environment of shared vulnerability, people feel empowered to envision a more equitable and inclusive future. The collective effort to heal historical wounds catalyzes innovation and collaboration, encouraging diverse groups to work together toward common goals. As individuals recognize their interconnectedness, a powerful energy emerges, pushing society towards genuine progress. Many communities are already putting collective healing practices into action. Initiatives such as restorative justice programs create spaces for open dialogue between victims and offenders, fostering empathy and understanding. These programs don't just focus on punishment. Instead, they put healing relationships at the forefront. By addressing the root causes of conflict and trauma, communities can break harmful cycles and build stronger, more resilient social fabrics. Similarly, community art projects encourage people to express their stories, creating a shared narrative that honors individual experiences while highlighting collective struggles. Consider engaging with your community to identify local issues that require collective healing. Whether it's through organized discussions, collaborative projects, or simply fostering open conversations, every effort counts. Small actions can lead to significant transformations, encouraging a sense of shared responsibility and togetherness. Becoming a light in the darkness. Encouraging individuals to be agents of change by embracing their personal shadow involves recognizing that everyone carries within them a side they may not want to confront. This shadow, often filled with fears, insecurities, and past mistakes, can feel burdensome and alienating. Yet, when we choose to acknowledge and embrace these aspects of ourselves, we give them power not to control us but to inform and guide us. By transforming our weaknesses into strengths, we not only begin a journey of personal growth, but also inspire those around us. Embracing our shadow means turning toward our fears with courage, shining a light on them instead of hiding them in darkness. This courageous act invites others to do the same, fostering a collective movement towards authenticity and change. The impact of personal transformation on societal growth and illumination is profound. When individuals embrace their own shadows, they break free from the cycle of judgment and isolation. This personal metamorphosis breeds a community where honesty and vulnerability are celebrated. As each individual's light begins to shine brighter, others are naturally drawn into this warm glow of shared experiences and understanding. Societal growth thrives in this environment because it encourages collaboration, empathy, and innovation. People start seeing challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for collective problem-solving. This ripple effect creates a culture where everyone feels empowered to contribute to a brighter future. Finding ways to incorporate small acts of self-reflection into daily life can be a powerful step toward embracing your shadow. Consider setting aside a few minutes each day to journal about your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice fosters an understanding of your inner world and strengthens your ability to shine as a beacon of light for others. Chapter 15. The Ongoing Journey. Integration as a lifelong process. The journey of shadow work is often misunderstood as a mere goal to reach. Many people approach it with the idea that once they've tackled their shadows, those hidden, often darker aspects of themselves, they will emerge fully transformed, ready to bask in the sunlight of personal growth. However, this perception overlooks a crucial truth. Shadow work is not a destination but an ongoing journey. Just like the changing seasons, our internal landscapes shift continuously. What we face today may be different tomorrow. Integrating these experiences means embracing the ebb and flow of growth, allowing ourselves to encounter various layers of our psyche over time. Each encounter with our shadows offers a new opportunity for learning, healing, and understanding, pushing us to refine our identity and discover more profound truths about who we are. Viewing integration as an evolving part of life opens doors to creativity and resilience. Life is not a straight path. It's a winding road filled with unexpected turns. Each twist and turn invites us to reevaluate how we integrate experiences into our being. This perspective encourages curiosity and adaptability, transforming integration from a chore into a richly rewarding practice. When we recognize that integration is not a one-time achievement, we free ourselves from the pressure of having everything figured out. Instead, we learn to dance with uncertainty, savoring the moments of clarity and grappling with confusion. Life becomes not just about arriving at a conclusion, but about the insights gained along the way, ultimately enriching our humanity. To nurture the lifelong process of integration, it's beneficial to adopt a mindset that values personal evolution over static definitions of success. Regularly reflect on your experiences and feelings. Create space for introspection, whether through journaling, meditation, or even conversations with trusted friends. This practice can reveal patterns and deeper understanding of your relationship with your shadows. By framing integration as a dynamic aspect of your existence, you not only empower yourself to navigate life's complexities, but also encourage growth in ways you may never have expected. Celebrating your growth. Recognizing and celebrating progress in shadow work is essential because it allows you to acknowledge the hard work you've put into understanding yourself better. Each step forward, no matter how small, represents a victory over the darkness that once held power. Embracing this progress not only boosts your self-esteem, but also fosters a healthier relationship with your inner self. It transforms the often daunting process of introspection into a rewarding journey. When you take the time to reflect on how far you've come, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages continued growth and exploration. Implementing strategies to acknowledge both small wins and profound transformations can make a significant difference in your outlook. Start by keeping a journal where you record your thoughts and achievements regularly. Writing down your successes, whether it's overcoming a fear or simply being kinder to yourself, can help solidify those moments of triumph. Additionally, consider celebrating these milestones with friends or loved ones who support your journey. You might prepare a small ritual for yourself, like lighting a candle or enjoying a favorite treat, to mark these occasions. By cultivating a mindset that appreciates every step you take, you will feel more motivated to continue the journey of self-discovery. Remember, the key is consistency in recognizing your growth. Regularly revisit your notes, and don't hesitate to remind yourself of past struggles you've overcome. This practice will deepen your appreciation for the person you are becoming. As you celebrate your growth, keep in mind that you are not just acknowledging past achievements. You are actively paving the way for future successes. Whether it's a small nod to your daily victories or a grand celebration of significant life changes, honoring your journey is an act of self-love that fuels your evolution. Continuing to embrace all of you. Embracing every aspect of oneself, including the shadows, is more than just a trendy concept. It's a committed act of self-love. It means looking at those parts of ourselves that we often hide or deny and recognizing that they are just as vital to our inner landscape as our positive attributes. The shadows, those fears, regrets, and insecurities, hold pieces of our truth. By welcoming them into our awareness, we acknowledge the full tapestry of our being. This commitment is not about glorifying our flaws, but rather about seeing them for what they are, experiences that shape us and teach us. By engaging with these aspects, we create a more authentic version of ourselves, one that's capable of deep connection with others and with our own hearts. This ongoing embrace of all we are, flaws and all, opens the door to deeper self-love and acceptance. When we stop resisting our imperfections, we free ourselves from the chains of unrealistic expectations. This newfound acceptance transforms how we perceive ourselves, shifting the focus from a critical inner dialogue to one of compassion. The shadows we once feared become allies in our journey, helping us to grow and understand that true beauty lies in our authenticity. The deeper we dive into self-acceptance, the more we nourish our self-worth. It is this nurturing that allows us to celebrate our victories and acknowledge our struggles without judgment, creating a comprehensive picture of who we are. As we deepen this relationship with ourselves, we invite a profound sense of peace and fulfillment into our lives. Embracing all aspects of yourself requires practice and patience. A practical tip for this journey is to keep a journal where you can express thoughts about your shadows. Regularly writing about your feelings and experiences not only helps in processing them, but also solidifies your commitment to this embrace. Over time, you may find that what once felt like burdens are simply pieces of a larger, beautiful mosaic that is uniquely you. Conclusion: the beauty of wholeness. Embracing your shadow. The significance of integrating the shadow lies in understanding that every part of us contributes to our completeness. Often we see the shadow as a negative aspect of ourselves, something to hide or deny. However, by recognizing and celebrating this part, we embrace our true nature. This process requires a deep dive into the parts of ourselves we often ignore. Doubts, fears, and insecurities are as much a part of us as our strengths and achievements. When we accept these facets, we unlock the potential for growth. Integrating the shadow is not just about acknowledgement. It's about weaving those darker threads into the fabric of our identity, allowing us to present a richer, fuller self to the world. Each struggle becomes a lesson, each failure a stepping stone, and each fear a challenge accepted. Encouraging a lifetime of acceptance and love for all parts of the self invites us into a rhythm of self-compassion. We often hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, expecting perfection while neglecting the raw and unrefined aspects of our being. Embracing our full selves, including the awkward, messy, and broken pieces, leads to profound liberation. Love becomes a practice. It's about acknowledging our imperfections and offering kindness to our relentless inner critic. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and commitment, we learn to nurture every shade of who we are. The journey towards accepting all parts of ourselves creates a strong foundation for a fulfilling life, teaching us that flaws and fears can coexist harmoniously with love and strength. Practicing this acceptance allows us to navigate our relationships, choices, and challenges with greater resilience and grace. When we bring the shadow into the light, we discover the richness of human experience and potential, making peace with what we've previously shunned. This lifestyle of acceptance transforms how we interact with the world and ourselves. Embrace your shadow not as a burden, but as a beautiful, messy mosaic of life, allowing you to live fully and authentically. A practical way to start this journey is to maintain a journal where you can write about your fears and insecurities. Putting these thoughts on paper helps you face them, offering a clearer understanding and ultimately leading to greater acceptance. The gift of self-integration. Becoming whole and fully yourself is a journey filled with gifts that often go unnoticed. When you integrate the different parts of your identity into a cohesive self, you unlock a deeper sense of freedom. This wholeness leads to a remarkable clarity in understanding your values, desires, and boundaries. It's like finding the missing pieces of a puzzle. When everything fits, the image of who you are becomes vivid, rich, and vibrant. You're not just living life, you're participating in it with a newfound enthusiasm. Fear and insecurity take a back seat as authenticity becomes your guiding principle, enabling you to navigate challenges with a confident spirit and an open heart. The true gift of this journey is the self-acceptance that allows you to embrace both your strengths and flaws, realizing they are what make you uniquely human. Self-integration doesn't just enhance your relationship with yourself, it transforms how you connect with others. When you feel whole, your interactions become more genuine. You are not projecting a facade, but engaging from a place of authenticity, which invites others to do the same. This depth of connection fosters compassion, understanding, and trust, essential ingredients for meaningful relationships. People can sense when you're being real, and it encourages them to share their true selves, creating a rich tapestry of mutual vulnerability. Furthermore, by being comfortable within your own skin, you cultivate an environment where others feel safe to express their own complexities. This interconnectedness fuels a sense of belonging, revealing that the greatest gifts often come from embracing our shared humanity. One practical tip: take a moment each day to reflect on your thoughts and feelings. Journaling can be a powerful tool for self-integration. By writing down your experiences, you can process your emotions and begin to see the patterns that govern your behavior. This practice not only paves the way for self-discovery, but also strengthens your ability to engage genuinely with those around you. An invitation to begin again. Everyone has shadows lurking in the corners of their minds, those nagging doubts, fears, and past experiences we often choose to ignore. Embarking on a journey of shadow work is about facing those shadows head-on. It's an invitation to unpack the emotions and beliefs that shape our behavior and choices. Picture this moment like opening a door that has remained closed for far too long. Behind it lies a path of self-discovery, where you can explore the depths of your psyche. It's not just a path for the brave, it's a journey that anyone can embark upon. At times, it might feel daunting, like standing at the edge of a cliff. But remember, every step taken into the darkness brings you closer to the light. To truly understand who you are, you must be willing to confront who you are not. That is where healing begins. As you delve into this vital work, imagine a future where all the pieces of yourself can coexist in harmony. Visualize a place where your insecurities, dreams, and past traumas come together to form a complete picture of who you are. This is not merely about acceptance, it's about celebration. Each part of yourself, even those that feel broken or lost, contributes to your unique tapestry. By acknowledging and integrating these facets, you grant yourself the freedom to grow and evolve. A harmonious self isn't one that denies its shadows. It embraces them as guiding lights in the journey of life. Dreaming of a brighter future isn't a mere wish. It's an attainable reality when you cultivate a loving relationship with all aspects of yourself. In this space, you can begin to envision what you truly want and deserve and take steps to manifest that into your life. Your narrative doesn't have to remain static. It can be rewritten, enriched, and reimagined. To kickstart this transformative journey, set aside a few minutes each day for reflection. Whether it's journaling your thoughts, meditating on your feelings, or engaging in creative expression, these practices can aid you in revealing the hidden parts of yourself. Allow this process to be dynamic and fluid. Remember, Every day offers a chance to begin again, so step into the process with curiosity and openness. Embrace the journey ahead, and don't hesitate to shine a light on those shadows. They have wisdom to share. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey of shadow alchemy. By now, you've explored the hidden aspects of your psyche and gained a deeper understanding of what lies within. The shadow is not something to fear, but rather a part of yourself that holds untapped power, creativity, and potential. True transformation comes from embracing all parts of who you are, the light and the dark. The beauty of shadow work is that it allows you to step into your fullest, most authentic self, no longer bound by the fears and limitations of your past. Integration is a lifelong process, and as you continue to meet your shadow with compassion and courage, you will find a newfound sense of wholeness and freedom. Embrace your shadow, transform it, and let it become your ally. The journey doesn't end here. It's an ongoing process of growth, self-discovery, and empowerment. Thank you for listening, and may you continue to alchemize your shadow into unstoppable power.